The Pittsburgh Steelers aren't just chasing another playoff run in 2025. No, this season, the mission is sharper. The expectations are heavier. And the message inside the locker room is crystal clear. Super Bowl or bust. For decades, the Steelers have been the gold standard of the NFL. 6 Super Bowl championships, legends etched into history, and a culture that never accepts mediocrity. But the modern NFL has been different. The Kansas City Chiefs own the spotlight. The 49ers are constantly in the hunt, and teams like the Ravens and Bengals are climbing. The Steelers, they've been good but not great. Strong but not unstoppable. A proud franchise stuck between its legendary past and the championship future it demands. And that's why 2025 feels like a breaking point.
The Steelers of 2024 showed flashes of who they could be. The defense was suffocating, led by the unstoppable T.J. Watt, a player so disruptive he changes game plans by himself. Minkah Fitzpatrick remained one of the smartest, hardest-hitting safeties in football, and when the lights were brightest, the defense always showed up. But the offense, that was the story of frustration. Kenny Pickett had moments of composure, but also long stretches of hesitation. Najee Harris, talented but inconsistent, couldn't break out the way fans expected. And while young receivers showed promise, they weren't enough to scare defenses every week. The result? A season of grinding, surviving, and competing, but not conquering. And in Pittsburgh, competing isn't enough.
But here's the dark side. What if it doesn't happen? What if the Steelers once again grind their way to 9, 10, or 11 wins, but fall short in January? Because the truth is, windows don't last forever. T.J. Watt is in his prime, but prime years don't last long. Cam Hayward won't anchor this defense forever. And Mike Tomlin, as legendary as his consistency has been, 17 straight non-losing seasons, knows better than anyone that in Pittsburgh, never losing isn't enough. The standard is winning Super Bowls. And if 2025 ends without one, this team will be forced to make changes. Big changes. Maybe at quarterback. Maybe at coaching staff. Maybe at the very foundation of what this roster has become. And that's what makes this season so heavy. It's not just about football games. It's about legacy.
So what did the Steelers do? They doubled down. The front office finally gave Kenny Pickett the weapons he needs to prove himself. The offensive line, once a glaring weakness, was retooled to protect and punish. Najee Harris enters a contract season with everything to prove. Will he become the workhorse this franchise envisioned, or fade into another what-if story? The wide receiver room, always a Steelers' strength, is buzzing. George Pickens has superstar talent, highlight catches that light up social media, physical dominance that makes him unguardable when focused. If he takes the next step, Pittsburgh's offense could finally be dangerous. And then there's the defense, the heart of the team. T.J. Watt, the franchise cornerstone, still hunting quarterbacks at an all-time pace. Fitzpatrick orchestrating the secondary like a general. And Cam Hayward, the emotional leader, making sure every snap is played with pride. The effect? A roster that looks complete. A team that, on paper, can line up with anyone in the NFL. A team that knows this season, everything is on the line.
Because this is the Steelers. This is a city where championships are the standard, not the dream. From the dynasty of the 1970s with Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, and the Steel Curtain defense, to the grit of the 2000s with Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward, Troy Polamalu, and Ben Roethlisberger, the identity of this franchise has always been toughness and rings. Pittsburgh fans don't show up just to cheer. They show up to demand greatness. They expect hard hits, clutch moments, and above all, winning. When you play in black and gold, you're not just playing football. You're carrying a tradition that stretches back over 50 years. And that's why 2025 isn't just another year.
It's a year of reckoning. Because patience, it's wearing thin.
Since their last Super Bowl win in 2009, the Steelers have had 14 winning seasons, but 0 Lombardi trophies. That's the longest drought in franchise history since the dynasty was born. For Steelers fans, that's not just disappointment, it's torture. So every game this season will feel like a playoff game. Every mistake will feel bigger. Every win will feel like a step closer to destiny. And that pressure, it either makes champions or it crushes teams. For Kenny Pickett, it's career-defining. If he delivers, he cements himself as a quarterback of the future. If he stumbles, the franchise will waste no time looking elsewhere. For Najee Harris, it's a contract year that could decide his entire career arc. For George Pickens, it's his chance to prove he's not just a highlight machine, but a consistent superstar. And for Mike Tomlin, it's the chance to finally shut down the critics. To prove that never losing isn't just a stat, it's the foundation of a championship run.
The Pittsburgh Steelers don't just want to win in 2025, they need to win. Because in this city, good seasons don't go down in history books. Only Lombardi trophies do. So when we say Super Bowl or bust, we mean it. This isn't hype. This isn't clickbait. This is the reality of Steelers football. Anything less than a 7th Lombardi will feel like failure. And that's why every fan, every player, every coach walks into 2025 with one mission: